TOMsavage. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for coming back. Today I want to do a real quick video because there was something else that was meant to be in place of this today, but it needed a little bit more work. So that's going to be coming in the next video with something else after that. So there's a few projects I want to work on at the minute. But today I want to do the answers to the Ask Me Anything that I've put up a couple of times recently that I just haven't got around to filming yet, so we're going to do that today. I was actually quite overwhelmed with how many questions I got. I thought I was going to get quite a small amount that I could wrap in one video. No problem, everybody gets their questions answered. But I actually got a lot more than what I thought I was going to, so thanks to everyone that got involved and asked a question. It really does mean a lot to me. I've picked some of the best questions, people that came in first, and questions that I think might be interesting to answer. If you didn't get your question answered, I'm sorry. I'm cutting this shorter than what was planned, so I can't fit them all in. But this is something I'm going to do more than once. I'm going to do these every so often. So if you didn't get your question answered this time, don't be disheartened. It'll be done next time. So as for now, I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get straight to answering your questions. Okay, so the first three questions, actually, we've got three questions, come from Darwin Chan. His first question is, how long have you been working on your deceptive techniques? I think I've been working on deception for maybe 8 years, 7 to 8 years. Starting off not really serious, it was just a hobby, something to do when I was bored. So I think maybe I spent maybe a year or two like that. So maybe seriously working on them, I would say about 6 to 7 years, somewhere in that sort of time frame. But I couldn't give a perfect number there because it's something that I enjoy, and you just lose track of time, I suppose, when you're doing something you enjoy. But yeah, so I'd say roughly about 6 years. Second question from Darwin. How long does it take you to grow a beard? Interesting question. So this is, hard pressed to call this a beard, if I'm honest. I am not follically blessed with facial hair. Unlike some of the people that are closest to me, closest friends, they're a lot more than what I am. But this is, shamefully, this is years of growth. Some people are just blessed better than others. Some people have the ability to grow thicker hair. Mine is quite sort of patchy and thin in the cheeks, but maybe one day, who knows, we keep battling on. So yeah, this is unfortunately quite a few years growth. The third question from Darwin is, what is your job? I've done many jobs, but that's not something I'm going to talk about on here. I don't think my job has too much to do with what we see on here. So we'll say, what is my job? It is filming myself talking to a camera and messing around with playing cards. So I hope that answers your questions. Thank you so much for getting involved, Darwin Chang. On to the next one. Okay, so the next question comes from my good friend SGoodwin52. There's going to be some bits and pieces coming, a collaboration from me and Stephen. So if you're not following him, go check him out. I'll leave some links in the description. Keep your eyes peeled, something's going to be going down from us too. But as for now, the question, who is your idol within the community? I think the easiest answer for that would be to say Daniel Madison. He is the person who I've learned, I would say, a solid 90% of what I know has come from him and his teachings. I've been lucky enough in the last year to be a part of gatherings and meetups where I've actually been able to go and spend time with him and other people that are like-minded people that are interested in the same thing, which is quite a special thing that I've been able to do. So yeah, I would definitely say he's probably the easiest answer for me to say, but there are other people. I'm a big fan of both Luke Germain and Pete Turner. They're both mentalists. For anyone that doesn't know who they are, both equally fantastic artists in their own right. So yeah, I look towards them when looking at mentalism, because that is something else that I do like to dabble in. It's not just playing cards. I do like to get involved with some mentalism. So they are probably the three top people that I look up to in the industry. Second question from S Goodwin 52. What move in your repertoire do you take the most pride in? Great question. Quite a difficult question to answer, to be honest. I mean, I think you should take pride in every move. I know your question, and I understand your question. I know where you're heading, but just as like a side thing, I don't think there should be maybe one move that you take more pride in than others. You should take pride, I think, in every move and make every move the best that you can possibly make it. But if I had to narrow it down to one move I take a lot of pride in, it's very difficult. It will probably be either the second deal or the Gambler's Cop. The Gambler's Cop because it's just a beast. And the second deal was the first false deal that I learned. So I've spent a lot of time with the second deal. I'm quite proud of my second deal. It's actually one of my favourite sleight of hand moves. I use it for a lot of different things. It creates ways to enhance method for really simple things, really simple tricks and effects. So yeah, if I had to narrow it down, it would either be the Gambler's Cop or the second deal. But we've got to take pride in everything that we do. So thank you very much for your question, Stephen. As I said, I'll leave his links below. Keep an eye on this space because something is gonna happen. Okay, so next question. I'm gonna attempt to say your name, but I'm not really good with names, so if I butcher this, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna give it a go. Next question comes from Semi Malinov. If I've butchered that, I apologise sincerely. The question is, what is your favourite move / technique? I think my favourite move would have to be the Gambler's Cop. It's just such a beast in its own. It's in its own league completely. It provides so many ins and outs of different situations. If you're someone that performs and is worried about the cleanup or worried about finishing clean, if you're ever in a routine where you are left dirty, maybe you're left with a duplicate card on the bottom or something of that sort, the Gambler's Cop's going to get you out. Equally, it is the easiest way to add any playing cards to a deck. If you need a duplicate, if you need to add one for whatever reason, it's just perfect. It makes there's a lot of routines with moves that when you read about them or you watch videos on how these effects are done, they use these moves that just make things difficult and look a bit awkward, and the Gambler's Cop is just a way to remove that sort of awkwardness and that awkward unexplainable moments that happen in the trick. So yeah, I definitely think the Gambler's Cop would be my favourite sleight of hand move. So thank you very much for your question. Next question comes from It Is Chippy. Good friend, fellow Alliance member. Thank you for sending the question, man. Chippy's question is, how do you practice? Do you have any favourite books or reads, magic related or not? It's a great question. In terms of practice, I don't have a routine where I say, okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to walk the dog, I'm going to go to work, and then at 5 o'clock I'm going to come back and I'm going to practice for 2 hours. Personally, I feel like that makes this feel more like a chore, and that you're stricken to time rather than something you're doing because you enjoy doing it. So in terms of how do I practice, it is literally any time that I'm not doing something else, I have playing cards in my hands and I'll practice. I find it the best and most therapeutic and useful to me is to sit in a room by myself with the playing cards. I usually listen to some form of music and then just work on anything that I feel like. Again, I don't limit myself and say, okay, today I must do 2 hours practice on a false table shuffle. It's just, I just practice everything that I know. It just kind of comes out and flows. So yeah, I don't like putting labels and time frames and constrictions on what I practice and how long I practice for. I think practice is best when it's just free flowing and down to you, and you can choose what you do and how long you do it for. In terms of books, I mean, I'm predominantly card based, and with a little bit of movement into the mentalism world. So I appreciate, again, a lot of Daniel Madison's works. His, from his older stuff of anthology all the way up to the latest releases of things like 52. All of his work and ideas I appreciate. In terms of other books, I've got books from Luc Germain. I have a book somewhere down here. I have this book he brought out a few years ago called Modern Mentalism. This was something that I actually really enjoyed. This was very good. But again, I don't want to say too much about books and what books I read, because I feel like people listen to that and then they go, oh well, if it's worked for him, it will work for me, and then they go and read the same book and it doesn't work for them, because that was a book that I chose because I liked it and I had an interest in it. I think books should be, your path to finding a book should be organic, and it should happen without someone telling you. You should find your own way there and find a book that's good for you and works for you. So yeah, that's just a couple of the books that I like. In terms of any that are non-magic related, I have read this 50th Law. This is a book on 50 Cent. For those that don't know, written by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. This was something that I was led to, and I've always been a fan of 50 Cent. I like a lot of his music, so this was actually a really interesting read to see a little insight into his way of thinking, and that's helped more in my personal life and living life more than it has for magic, but still, again, a great book. So thank you for your question, Chippy. Hopefully I'll see you soon, man. Okay, next question is from Bob. Bob, thanks for sending the question, man. Good to see you here. Bob's question is, maybe your next video is a deck review or tutorial. You read my mind, man. It's already on the way. There's a couple of things that I've decided I'm going to share. I ran a poll over on my Instagram, which is a link in the description. If you're not following me, go follow me over there. I put a link in the description about doing reviews for decks and products and tutorials, and the response I got back was really good, really positive. So it's got me thinking. I've got a couple of things in my mind. So as far as tutorials go, that's probably going to come sooner. That's probably going to come first. There's a few things I want to share that I hope you guys are going to like, hope you're going to appreciate. And then maybe dabble in some deck reviews too, which I think I've mentioned in another video, but I'm still sort of 50-50. We're still deciding on that. But so your answer to the question, Bob, is yes, they are coming hopefully within the next 2 or 3 videos. So thank you for your question, man. Keep your eyes out for those videos. Okay, so I think I'm going to call it there, because I am very conscious of time and I can already feel like this video is going to be dragging on for quite some time. So thank you to everybody that sent in a question. I really do appreciate it. If you didn't get your question answered, don't worry. I'm keeping a log of questions that come in and who I've answered, so there will be more of these videos coming. So if you didn't get your question answered this time, make sure you send one in next time, and I will definitely get to you. There's only one more thing I want to mention in this video, and that is this. You would have seen this in a video a little while ago. This was sent to me by an up-and-coming company called Wordsmiths. They're making these pretty dope little plaques with some pretty cool quotes on. This came with a nice little message that they had stumbled across my Twitter, seen that I appreciated words and a quote, and said this one best fitted my style. So they sent me this. So this is dope. So as soon as the company is up and running and they're on their feet, I will make sure to shout them out in case any of you want to pick up something like this. They make some pretty good little gifts as well for the people that you don't ever know what to get them for Christmas. So this is pretty good. Equally, if you have something, maybe a deck or anything at all that you want featured on my channel, I've left a postal address in the description box below. So scroll down, find the address, send me whatever you want. Maybe it's a deck of cards you want reviewing. It could genuinely be anything. Send me whatever it is you want, and I will feature it here on this channel. So that is it from me. Thank you very much for getting involved. Thank you for spending your time with me, listening to the answers to your questions. Thanks for sending the questions in. I hope you liked the video. If you do like this sort of video and you like the idea of being able to ask the questions and get the answers, let me know in the comments below. I want to produce stuff that you guys want to see, not just the stuff that I think is beneficial or the things that I want to produce. So if there's something you want to see, let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like. It helps me out a lot. And if you're not already, hit the subscribe button before you leave. There's some mad content to come. In the next few videos time, we're going to start dabbling into some tutorials. I've got a couple of cool ideas that I think you guys are going to like. Make sure you're subbed so you're the first person to see that as soon as I drop the video. As for now, I am TOMsavage. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.